My loss is your gain. The concert I was planning on going to tonight got canceled because of the snowstorm, but you get an NFL draft video. So let's talk about Aiden Fisher up next here on No Buts About It. What's up, everybody? It is Josh here from No Buts About It. And as I said at the top, I was supposed to go see Sawyer Brown tonight. Got canceled. Snow. Everyone's staying safe. Probably the right decision, but it still sucks. However, it gave me the opportunity to make a video that I've been wanting to make for a while. And that is about Indiana linebacker Aiden Fisher. He's a guy who really stuck out to me watching Indiana play football the last season, the last 2 seasons. He's been great. And, he isn't talked about a ton, even though he is a leader on this defense, very vocal leader. I think he would be great on an NFL team as a leader, but not talked about a ton, at least that I've seen. And he's not going to be talked about a lot coming into the NFL draft. So let's first look at some highlights. And I was only able to find 2 highlights of this guy. That's how underappreciated he is. He's going to have a pick 6 against UCLA, and he's just going to be right place, right time, run it back, gets the ball. This should loop around, watch it again, and look at that. Just quick, doesn't give up. He knows exactly what he's doing. Good hands, great play. This other one is a tipped interception that shows his awareness against Penn State. And so the ball goes up. He bobbles it a little bit, but he gets it. He doesn't get super far with it. He gets taken down by the first guy that gets to him. But hey, that awareness is what we like to see in a linebacker during a tip drill. And that's what Aiden Fisher gives us. But let's look at his breakdown specifically. He's going to be a downhill guy, and we're going to see more of that. If he sees a gap, he goes for it. He trusts it. He's decisive against the run. That's where he is going to strive. He's comfortable taking on blocks. He's not going to be guessing. He plays within the structure of the defense. He doesn't try to be a hero. Something that I love is he's a solid tackler. He's not trying to hit stick. He's not trying to get fancy. He just wraps up. He runs through the player with his feet. Very basic, very textbook, but he is phenomenal at it. No nonsense, and I think coaches are going to love that. So, Aiden Fisher, 22 years old, young guy, 6'1", weighs 231 pounds. Good measurables. Here, his speed isn't going to be the greatest. That's not where he's known. He's not super explosive, not great at change of direction, acceleration, and we're going to talk about that a little bit here. But that's okay because he plays with angles, instincts, and effort. He gets to spots early rather than fast. He is a very high IQ player. He understands offenses. He understands where he needs to be within the scheme of the defense, and he makes a difference because of that. He's able to make up for what he lacks in athletic traits with his mental capacity. Looking at his stats from 2025, this is a Curt Cignetti guy. He used to be at James Madison with Curt Cignetti. This is a guy that made Curt Cignetti smile. Aiden Fisher last year with Indiana, though. Solo tackles, 46. Assisted tackles, 51, for a total of 97 tackles. Not too bad. Tackles for loss, 10.5. Like I said, he's really good in that run game. That's where he's the best. Sacks, 4.5, and he had 2 interceptions, including that one I showed you. So actually the 2 I showed you. But anyway, Aiden Fisher is a guy. He's going, you're going to be watching the combine and you're going to say, this dude isn't good. This isn't great. The measurables aren't there. He's not fast. He's going to fall. He's going to be late in the draft. But the film shows you so much about him. And I'm upset that I couldn't find the highlights, but I just remember watching him and he was always there. And he was the Mike linebacker. He was also the green dot, I believe, for Indiana. So he was the one communicating defenses. He was the one telling people the schemes. He understood all of that. He's that middle linebacker who isn't, super talented, but he's able to get the job done. He's able to do what he needs to do. And in the NFL, the player comp I have for him is actually a guy who's done phenomenal this year, and he earned himself an extension with the Rams, Nate Landman. He signed a year, $22.5 million extension this year. He was a 2022 Atlanta Falcons undrafted free agent signing. Didn't do much his rookie year. Did really well his second year in the league. Kind of fell off his third year, got let go, got picked up by the Rams, and these are the stats that we have for him. 54 solo tackles, 68 assistant tackles, and 132 total. 8 tackles for loss, sacks 2.5, forced fumbles 4, fumble recovery 2. So just to go back to where Aiden Fisher was, very similar stats. Obviously, more tackles in the NFL. Tackles for loss and sacks, though, are about the same. I didn't have I don't believe he had any interceptions, maybe one, but I did give Nate Landman those forced fumbles to kind of look at. So I see Aiden Fisher as a guy who can take this same sort of trajectory that Nate Landman has. And if you've been watching the Rams, you might be saying, I've never heard of this Nate Landman fellow. Where did he come from? Why is he just all of a sudden all over the Rams defense and such an important key of the Rams defense? Well, because Chris Shula is good at finding these guys. He's good at developing them. Nate Landman is an example of that. Another defense should look to Nate Landman and say, look at Aiden Fisher and say, I think Aiden Fisher has this potential. He's going to be a depth guy day one, but I think he's also a day one special team starter. And his attitude, I think, is one where he would want to do that. He's like, okay, if special teams is where I have to start, I'm willing to do that. Let's go. He's going to be valuable on your roster. I think that if you need a leader in your locker room and you need a special teams guy and you want depth at linebacker and he's there in around 6 or 7, you've got to take him. You have to take Aiden Fisher. I love this guy. He's not flashy, but he's a very solid textbook football player. He's not overly complicated. Don't make things more difficult than what they need to be with him. He is what he is, but he also has potential. And that potential is to be a very good zone defense run linebacker. Is he going to be doing coverages against tight ends and keeping up with them in man? No, but that's not the type of player he is, and that's why he won't succeed in those situations. That's why you're not putting a wide receiver at defensive tackle, because that's not the type of player they are. However, I think Aiden Fisher should definitely get a look from a lot of NFL teams as a depth piece. If your team needs a linebacker needs linebacker depth and some special teams help, Aiden Fisher could be that guy. It wouldn't shock me to see the Rams go after him because this is the exact type of player that they like. Young, maybe not appreciated completely, can play on special teams, and they need special teams help. I could see Aiden Fisher being a Los Angeles Ram one day. We will see what happens, though. Let me know what you think about Aiden Fisher down below. I know Hoosiers fans are going to love him, as they should. He's a great player. And make sure to subscribe. It helps us all a ton. It only takes you less than 5 seconds. And until next time, go do something nice for someone.